All right, let's see if we got any sound. Test. All right. All right, let's see if we got any sound. I do have sound. Good, I'm back. Test. We shut that off and I'm back. Yay, yes, we have sound. It was just something that was very simple that just cracked. That one button that I had to push. I do have. All right, so let me get set up again. You guys, please bear with me and wait on this. And I'll get it going. Again, in my description is, if you want to join me, the Zoom ID is there and the passcode. Where is Discord? I'm going to give you a Discord link. And let me go to live stream. Done. Okay, where is the Discord? There is the Discord. And invite people. And there is the code for today. So I will put that there as well. Okay. Let me turn this on and hit save. Right, and we've got 3 people here already, which is awesome. I think that's great. And thank you. My dear wife made me a masala chai. All right, everything seems to be set up. Let me just add a just something here to help people find me so they'll know I'm here. Real quick. And I think we're good. Move this over so I can see the chat. All right. Wait, I can't see you guys. I want to see the chat. Where is the chat? What's the best way to do this? Videos? I probably have to go to my channel. There we go. All right, there we are. So I'll try that again. Happy Saturday to you if you're on this side of the planet. If you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. Thank you guys very much for being here on Saturday the 5th. Well, let's have a great show. We've already got 3 people waiting, so that's awesome. And let's don't keep anybody else waiting. Let's see who is here. Oh, we've got Gopal and Sharon again together. I wonder if we should bring those 2 in. And I'm not sure who is first, but I'm bringing Gopal in because he's in Bulgaria. And he's, 2 or 3 in the morning there. So please forgive me if you were first, Fernando. Gopal, how are you?
Hey, how are you, Jeff? Can you
Namaste.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Namaste.
Yes, I see Sharon's here with us. Should we have Sharon join us at the same time?
Yeah. Okay, that will be great. Yeah.
All right. So off we go. How has your week been?
Great.
Great.
Yeah. That's really good. My Guruji Yogananda, he didn't allow to the disciples. For example, he was asking when you say to you, how are you? And before you say, well, and he will say, great. And that's it. You always have to be with high spirits.
Yes. High spirits, high energy. So how are you, Sharon? How have you been? Haven't seen you in a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
That's
How
pretty
about
good.
you?
Great, thank you. Do you guys talk regularly?
Yes, of course.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Are you guys working together on something?
Well, we may be planning on doing something. We will see if God allows it, and we'll see. We
shall see. Well, what is it? Can you give us a hint? Or is it a secret?
No, it's not a secret.
We're going to be in a big movie,
Oh, really? Well,
I'm kidding.
You were just in one, weren't you, Sharon? Because I thought I did a video for the with the producer.
Yeah, James Bonato. Yeah, I was in the movie, but I was just kidding.
Were you ever on? Were you on Dr. Oz, Sharon?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, she's been with the good and kindly doctor. How was that experience?
It was a lot of fun. It was really fun. Only been to New York twice, and once when I was on National Geographic, and then once with Dr. Oz. But it was fun.
How was
the doctor?
Was he pretty nice?
He was. He was very genuine and very, very kind and very nice. I like him a lot.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
It was fun though.
I saw that one of my guests, I don't know if you guys ever saw this guest of mine named Gosha. She's from Spain, but because of COVID, she got locked up in like Norway or something. But she channels, she doesn't channel, she claims, and I had her on the podcast, she claims to have email chat or a chat room with aliens.
Oh.
She chats with them. They gave her the chat and they chat back and forth. And she has some very fascinating information. Anyways, she now has a show on Gaia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was surprised. I just kind of popped into her channel just to see what she was up to, and she was announcing. She said we couldn't say anything until it was official, but now it's official. Then she has a show on Gaia.
Oh, very nice.
That's awesome. I have heard about this. Yeah, about these chatting rooms with aliens before.
So maybe I can get an NDE show on Gaia.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah. Just NDEs. I mean, I spoke with somebody, one of my guests that is in the entertainment industry. And we spoke about, excuse me, how to go about trying to get the show on. But I just kind of wanted to wait till this whole COVID thing is over with.
Oh, do you think it will be? It's just changing. It's just changing hands. I'm not sure it's ever going to really go away, but we'll find out, I guess.
So do you have any new NDE information for us?
Sharon has lots of information.
I know you have, forgive me. I know you couldn't share everything in 1 hour with me before, so you've got to have some more juicy stuff you can give us.
Well, let's see. Okay, so I've had 4, right?
4 times struck by lightning 4 times. Okay, I can't remember if it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was 4 times with the lightning strike. Twice was ball lightning, twice was lightning strike. And then the 4th lightning strike was the one that caused my second near-death experience.
Let me ask you this. Whenever you're in a thunderstorm, do you have to take cover?
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you're a magnet for it seems.
Well, I can feel it before it ever really comes. I can feel it. I can feel it in the air, like the electricity in the air, and my hair will stand up on my arms. And it's just, last summer, I tried twice to sit out on the porch and just make myself sit there for as long as I could, because I had this fear now and I don't want the fear to take over. So I sat there and I kid you not. Both times there was a huge lightning bolt that looked like it hit the roof of the house right across the street. And that was it. All I had to do was see that. And it was like, I am in the house, in the closet, under my rubber mattress.
You know, we always focus on your NDE and we don't spend time about, you know, your actual lightning strikes. Can you even tell us, and if you don't want to, you don't have to, but what does it feel like to get struck by lightning?
It's oh my gosh. Well, it's like a searing, burning, agonizing pain. Now the ball lightning, it wasn't nearly as bad. It jolted me to the point where, well, the first one, it's just a ball like this, and it just came. They can come through glass, and it will not break the glass. But I saw it. It came through the crack between the window and the window frame. And we lived in a big old Victorian house, so there was a lot of space between windows. But and then it rolled across the room, and it hit my hands on the keyboard. I was on a computer, and it just fried the computer, you know, the keyboard. But I could feel it. It hit when it hit, I could feel the buzzing sensation in my arms, my hands, and all the way up to my shoulders and my neck. It was just like you stuck your finger in a light socket. It's what it feels like.
So it's more of electricity feeling or more of a pain?
It's both, actually. I have a right bundle branch block in my heart, and I have seizures from the fourth lightning strike. And but it actually felt like it was burning, it was searing, it was very painful. I got sick at my stomach, I started sweating. And then when I came back to my body, I was like instantly, as soon as my spirit came back in my body, it was like instant pain. It was like, really, let me out of here. But I had to get on Dr. Oz. I had to have medical documentation. So I do have medical documentation. People ask me that a lot.
I don't know if it was you. I may have had one other guest who's been struck by lightning, or someone wrote to me. Do you have any scarring of lightning scarring on your body, that kind of tree-like scarring? No,
I never did have that, but it left char marks on the stairs where I was sitting, just black char marks. But no, if I did have that, God healed that before I came back. In any of your NDEs, were you told that you have to come back, you have things to do here? No. I mean, the fourth one, when I went into the void, I was just kind of held, and I was told, don't make a hasty decision, because when I had my fourth one, I was ready to go. And if it had been left up to me, I wouldn't be back here. But it was like God was just holding me in this black velvet blanket. And he just kept, I heard him talking. Either he was talking to my soul or he was talking to someone else about me. And he was just this big formless presence, which I had experienced before. So I knew who it was. And I heard him say, just let me hold you. Don't make a hasty decision. Let's think about this. And I know you're tired. I know you're depressed. It just, let me hold you, and we'll just rest here. And that's what I did. This is my thought process, but I'm thinking that if you know that you're supposed to be here, you've got things to do here, maybe that knowingness will help you be less afraid of lightning. But I don't blame you, because you've got pain and suffering involved with that. So it's easy to be like, afraid. I mean, who wouldn't be after experiencing that 4 times, not just once? Yeah, it was big. And I I think it was 2008, I was invited to go to the White Buffalo Messengers powwow. And so I went, and it's like way up in the mountains in Pennsylvania. So it's very high up. And they had a lightning storm or thunderstorm right in the middle of the powwow. And everybody had to take cover. Of course, I didn't stay the night in a camper, so I didn't have anywhere to go. So I'm standing there, and these huge lightning bolts are hitting the ground right where the people were dancing. And if it wasn't for, there were 5 elders, and I knew that they were elders because of where they were sitting at the powwow. And they came over and they got me, and they wrapped me in this blanket, and they stood around me. They held hands and they stood around me in this circle, and they put me in the middle of the circle. And I was shaking all over because, I mean, these bolts were hitting everywhere, and there was no place to go. And the one, I guess, oldest elder, the man, he told me not to be afraid. He said, well, we've got you protected. Nothing's going to happen to you. You're fine. I was like, I was told I was going to get hit a 5th time, and I think this is going to happen here. And he's like, no, we've got you. It's okay. And they went all around us, but they didn't hit us. And I don't know how, because the only shelter that they were under was like a lean-to, and it had metal poles and like a canvas top. And that's the only, I mean, I don't see how the lightning didn't get us with the metal poles.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it didn't. I mean, they protected me, I guess. So I was grateful.
Well, thank God that you didn't get hit again. You know, last time you came, I had nobody in line, but I've got 4 people in line behind you guys, so I'm going to have to run. But before I go, is there anything that I can plug for you guys? Do you guys working on something that you want everybody to know about?
Well, not at the moment, Jeff. We were just talking these days, and because we have so many, the more we talk, the more so many common things we can see that between Sharon's NDE and the teachings of yoga and meditation and Kriya Yoga and the spiritual teachings of Vedanta. So there are so many things that are so common. More and more we discover, and we will do something like a podcast or something where we can talk about how people can experience these teachings and these spiritual blessings for themselves while they are practicing, without, maybe if somebody didn't have an NDE, they can also experience God and experience the bliss of the spirit and meditation. So we are just thinking about something like that, but we will let you know as soon as we start. And thank you so much.
All right. And you're already on excuse me, you're already on YouTube, right? If people want to find you again, was it Gopal, or how do they find you?
If we are going to post something, Ananda Bulgaria is the Bulgarian channel where they are mostly Bulgarian videos, but I have another channel which is for the English-speaking audience, which is called Ananda Yogananda, all in one.
Ananda Yogananda.
Yes, and I have already some ND interviews with Peter Panagor, with Reverend Bill McDonald, and now we may start with Sharon, and maybe we can start something with her channel as well, directly to her, and make a website for her and everything. So
great. And what is your YouTube channel, Sharon? Is it just under your name?
Well, yeah, just Sharon Milliman. I have 2 different. I don't know how to make a YouTube channel. I wish I did. So I don't know but I have these little envelopes, and one says Sharon Milliman NDE, and the other one says Sharon Milliman Near Death Experience. But I put all of the videos in both of those, so I don't know exactly how it shows on.
We'll figure that out.
If you guys want to find Sharon, just probably search for Sharon Milliman NDE, and you should be able to find her on YouTube. Yeah. All right, guys, I've got to run. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. You guys take care.
Thank you, Jeff. Namaste. Bye-bye.
Namaste. Bye-bye. Don't report. All right. So that was Sharon and Gopal. Let's let Fernando in. While Fernando's coming in, I want to thank Susan Leeser for the super thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Joyce Banks, thank you for being a member again. I appreciate you for doing that. And I hope I've got them all. I'm all caught up here. I think you gave more than one, Susan. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 3 times. 3 times. Thank you. And we're having a good night. I mean, wow, we've got a lot of people. I mean, we're waiting for Fernando, and we've got 4 people in the waiting room. That's great. And on that note, while we're waiting, I recorded a podcast yesterday with my first person from Hawaii who is Hawaiian. And, you know, he's a native Hawaiian. And we talked about NDEs and how NDEs, well, not only we talked about his NDEs, but we also talked about how NDEs and OBEs are within the Hawaiian culture. So I'm happy to bring you, it's not really from another country because it's still Hawaii, but it's, you know, it's kind of like from another country, right? Because it's native Hawaiian. So I hope you guys will really like that one. Fernando, I don't know why you're not starting. I'll give you 1 more minute and then I'll put you back into the waiting room, and I won't kick you out. I'll just put you back into the waiting room and then see if I can get somebody else in. So maybe we should go ahead and try that. I'm going to put in waiting room. So like I said, you're still here with us, Fernando. And I don't know who was next. Was it Moto G Stylus, iPhone, or Galaxy A12? So we'll try Galaxy A12 and see how that turns out. And hopefully this person will make it. And that's just the way we have to go sometimes. When you do Zoom, unfortunately, it's not like a phone. Like if this was all on the radio, you could immediately connect because it's just the phone. But with Zoom, I am, you know, oh, here we go. We are dependent on our viewers. Galaxy A12, it looks like she's an artist. Looks like there's some nice looking paintings back there. She's not connected yet, but she almost is. She's connecting to audio. Just hold on 1 second. She's got even like a mannequin face too, so she maybe likes to do makeup. Just hold on 1 moment. You're almost here. Are you there? Oh, nope. Almost. Ask to unmute. So you have it muted. If you can hear me.
Yeah,
there you go.
Just,
Can you hear me?
Oh, that's too bright, isn't it?
No, well, you're fine.
Maybe I should turn this. Hi, I'm calling from Washington State.
From Washington State. All right. And
Yeah,
who are you? What is your name?
Is that better? Trudy.
Trudy. Hi, Trudy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, hi.
What part of Washington State are you from?
In Spokane.
Spokane. All right. Are you an artist as well?
Yes, I am.
I was enjoying looking at your artwork.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I wanted to show you this one. This is from the actual sighting that I had.
Oh, wow.
This triangle, can you see it?
Yeah, you saw one of those triangle crafts?
Oh, I sure did. It looked exactly like that. But I mean, it's so teeny in this painting. You know, the painting's only like 8 by 10 or well, 10 by 12 or something.
Was it one of the, usually the triangle ones were silent. Was it silent?
It was totally, completely silent. And that was on Hawaii. Can you see the little owl right there? Listen, no, wait, that's the wrong side. That's the monkey.
I see. I was going to say, I thought that there's a guy. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Where's the little owl right there?
There's the owl. And then there's,
an owl too.
Is that supposed to be the Men in Black?
No, actually they're UFO researchers.
Oh, UFO researchers. Cool. That's awesome.
Where's the other guy right there? There he is right there. That's a real guy right there too.
That's cool. So tell us about how you saw that craft.
Well, you know, it was really crazy. I was right across the street from the harbor, and I was just laying there looking up at the stars on the back of a pickup truck with my friend. We were just kind of have a chair, a lounge chair, and we just like to stare up at the sky. And he was pretty much falling asleep in the back. And I was looking at it, and I saw a bright white light, like a star, just got really super bright, and then it just blinked out. And then I saw this red line, like a stitching of clothing, like if you stitch, like it'll be there, then it skips out, and then it's there and it skips out. I'm kind of nervous. Sorry, I wasn't.
You're doing
prepared.
Wonderful. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. But anyway, so then it just started getting closer and closer and closer until it was right over my head, and it was gigantic. It was like, have you ever seen those really gigantic Japanese liners? They're planes. They're really huge. Anyway, it's like 5 or 6 of those.
Wow.
That's how big it was. Yeah. I don't know how big a football field is, but
was it so big that it kind of blocked out the rest of the sky? You couldn't see the stars?
You know, I didn't even look at the stars. I was just going, oh my God, it's a real UFO. And then my friend heard me and he came out, but he didn't get to see it right when it was right above us. It was right above us. And then it went out over the bay. And then it went back over the island and actually headed in the direction of the military base, which is on the other side. That's a big island. And so that's towards Hilo, and I was on the Kona side.
Wow.
So, and I lived there for 18 years, and there's a lot of UFOs. I saw a lot of them.
When did this happen? How long ago?
This was in 2016, towards the end.
Okay, so that's not pretty recent.
Last
Interesting. If you saw a lot of UFOs, do you think they were all going to the military base?
No, actually, no, not at all. That's the first time I saw one cross over the island. But actually, I saw one in the same place. I mean, I was across the street from a harbor in this like warehouse district, and it came down right over us. And then it went out over the bay, which is just a short ways. And then it went way over the bay and then over the island. So I got to watch it for several minutes. And it was slower than a plane. Didn't make a sound, but to me, it looked like it was floating, like it was sort of in a way, but it didn't seem like it was flying like with an engine. It was just floating. And when it got bigger, when it started getting closer and closer, I didn't hear a sound, but it only took seconds to go from the size of a star way up with the other stars down to over my head. And I didn't feel it like rushing down, didn't feel any energy. It just kept getting bigger and bigger.
That's amazing.
Until it was right over my head. It was crazy.
Was that the first time you saw a UFO?
No, actually, I've seen several that I thought were UFOs as I was growing up, but you know, I didn't really talk to anybody about it. And I had a really strange experience when I was 8 years old. I'm 65 now, so it was. I was sleeping out in the backyard with my neighbor at my neighbor's house right next door, and we were next to her garage, and in front of her garage, or the side of her garage, were 2 garbage cans. And we were just laying there and looking at the star because we got to sleep outside all night. You know, we had permission. And all of a sudden, this light came down. We were looking at the stars, and it just came all the way down from the stars. I mean, it was like a beam of light, and it was like it wasn't like a big one, like you could zoom up a car. Am I talking too loud?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've never done a Zoom. So
you're doing great. If you see me look away, sometimes I'm also kind of piloting the ship here.
Oh, right.
Keeping my idea of my mind on what's going on.
But anyway, this was a really skinny beam of light. It was like, I mean, I don't know, maybe that big. It was just skinny, or maybe bigger than that. But it came all the way down, and it hit the garbage can, and it kind of rattled the lid on the garbage can. And then we got really scared and ran in the house and ran downstairs. And then I remember this really well because she started a fire in the fireplace, and she was, you know, downstairs. We weren't supposed to be doing that, you know. So that really stuck out in my head. But for some reason, I saw her years later, and she did not remember at all. So I just thought that was so crazy.
Let me ask you this. Which one of your sightings was like, okay, if this is, it's confirmed in your mind that this is a real UFO, like it confirmed it for you?
Two of them. I mean, I was only 8 years old then, so I didn't understand what it was. But 2 of them, I also saw a circular craft, and it was right at the harbor this time. I was right by the Sail Club. I don't know if you've been to the harbor in Kona, but I was right at the Sail Club Park right there. And it was, the clouds are really low in Kona. There's a huge mountain right behind there.
This is in Hawaii?
Yeah, this is in Kona, Hawaii.
Okay.
And so it was underneath the circular craft was a big round yellow light that probably took up a huge amount of the craft. I couldn't really see it really good. I could see the light really good, but I couldn't see the craft. And it was one of those kind that zigzag like that, and it's just super fast. I've heard people say that they zigzag, and I thought, oh yeah, why would they go back and forth? But when you see one, you kind of know what they mean by zigzag, you know, because it just does it so fast. It just goes zoom, 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 zoom. You know, you can't even. As a matter of fact, my friend was with me again. We're out watching the stars at the Soul Club, because I used to put names on boats in Hawaii, so I was always at the harbor. And so he was laying down again. I was sitting on the tailgate just looking up, and then I saw this light. It was just like a mustard, like if you took a light and stuck it inside of an egg yolk, it would be that color. It's like a yellow ochre kind of, but real super bright, and it was huge. It was like maybe, I mean, the craft wasn't really huge, but the light was maybe like 20 feet around in a circle or something.
Right. Wow.
And by the time I said, oh, look, and then he came out to look, and I said, oh, you missed it. And before I could say, oh, you missed it, it had flown over the mountains, which are several miles away at the top of the Mauna Loa mountain. And then it came back before I could even finish that one sentence.
That's cool.
So it was crazy. I got the feeling it was trying to hurry up and get out of there. It was just turning dark, and that's only 3 miles from the airport also, where the harbor is.
Wow.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us and sharing us your artwork.
I'll just show you one more.
Okay.
Because this is one is actually from a dream, and
cool.
I had a dream that I went to Jupiter in a van, and I was painting designs in the planet with a rake. But I know it's really crazy, but I used to astro travel all the time since I was like 5 years old.
Do you sell your artwork?
No, you know, I don't show anybody. I mean, except for I've given a few away, and I need to sometime. Maybe you think it's good enough?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I don't normally buy paintings. I'm not in that financial world, but
right. I don't know. I mean, people have said that, but you know, I'm kind of new here. You know, from Hawaii. There's another one. This is a place on Maui, Hawaii.
That's cool.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to run because I've got 4 people waiting. But why don't you come back next week and show us your artwork?
Oh, well, you know, tell you what, I'll come back next week and tell you about some of my astro travels.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
Fun.
That'd be great.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, okay. It was very nice meeting you.
Nice to
Have a
meet
great
you.
weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was cool. So she was one of the lucky ones to see one of those triangular ships. And I think everybody who has seen one has said that you don't hear them. They're silent. So let's try to get Moto G stylus in. Moto makes me think of it's a Motorola with a stylus, one of those, maybe those pencils. Either that or this person's into motorcycles.
Hello.
Hello. I hear you.
Hey.
I just don't see you.
Okay, I'm not used to the Zoom stuff.
Well, that's all right.
Okay, here we go.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Hey,
welcome. Who are you and where are you zooming from?
I am zooming from the South. I'm not going to go to which state, you know, privacy concerns.
All right.
I just want to thank you very, very much for giving ordinary people a voice, and I'm very grateful to have someone.
Well, thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be really brief because I know we got like 10 minutes. Short story. I've been studying the paranormal for over a decade now. I use these spirit boxes, PSB 11.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't know anything about those spirit boxes. What is that?
Okay, this sweeps through the radio stations really, really fast. You can set it at different settings, and it sweeps through it so fast it creates what we call white noise.
Okay.
And it's believed that spirits are able to communicate through white noise.
Oh.
And I know it's legit. I was a skeptic too. I used to watch Zach Bagans' Ghost Adventures, and I saw their devices like, oh, it's bull, you know. But I bought it, and when my grandmother died in 2017, I heard her voice come through. She said, "Hey, my name's Nathan."
Okay.
Nathan Douglas. My friends call me Merlin. I have a Facebook page, Merlin and the Fae King's Crown, and a YouTube page. YouTube as well.
So she started
so
calling.
sorry, but
She started talking to you through the box, huh?
yes, sir.
What did she say?
Yes, sir. Well, first it was, "Hey, Nathan." Like she sounded like she was in distress. It was really odd.
Weird.
It scared me. Like
Yeah.
I felt like my chest go cold because I was a skeptic, for a long time with this stuff, and no one can tell me otherwise. I know it's real. I know it is.
So was she in distress?
It sounded like she was. Yes, sir.
But you didn't you didn't find out?
No, I only got in touch with her a couple of times, and after that I haven't got anything from her. But I get other voices coming through. Like there are some that claim to be angels that are around me, and I asked them, "How many of you are around me?" And it would go like 10, and all of a sudden you would hear 1,000. It was really, really weird.
Wow.
But I just want to touch into that the paranormal side, and I've been having like awakenings, spiritual awakenings. Like I had my first one when I was 18. Then I had another one 23, 24, right after I got out of the Marine Corps, infantry. Then I had one in 2020. It was really, really weird. And I got proof to back it up. In 2020, they had an asteroid called 2020 ND. It's like my initials, Nathan Douglas. Then 4 days later, they had a hurricane go towards Hawaii called Hurricane Douglas. And that was like, because I believe everyone gets these signals from the universe. You just got to pay attention. And I did.
Yeah.
And I started following the rabbit trail, with numerology, numbers, and all that stuff. 8 energy is really strong with me. I was born April 26th at 2:06. So you can add those together, you get 8. And I checked my astrology. It's really weird to me. I have all feminine energy signs. I don't have any masculine. So I'm like, okay, so what does it mean? It means I'm an attractor of energy instead of a doer, going out there and showing action and getting things done, etc. And I really implore everyone to find meaning, find their own meaning, because everyone has a meaning and purpose. And I just want them to awaken to their higher self, because if you start following those breadcrumbs, you'll eventually come up to the conclusion what you're here to do, who you're meant to be. So the universe leaves breadcrumbs for all of us. Just got to find out where it's leading, So yeah, I've been I post a lot on Facebook. I try to encourage people through like spiritual encouragement, positive vibes. So I'm not going to cookie cut anything. I know everyone struggles, especially during these times. So I'm not going to be like, oh, be happy all the time. No, you can be spiritual and not be happy all the time. We understand. Just let the feelings go through you, and they'll eventually subside. And so I just try to keep people encouraged to keep going, to stay positive, and to keep having hope.
Let me ask you this about that spirit box. If you turn it on, do you immediately connect to spirits, or does it take time to start connecting to spirits?
I have a video on YouTube where I got one coming through, but sometimes it's random. You never know, but I've never seen any orbs or anything, but I do get voices through here when I request it. Usually it could take 10 minutes, 15 minutes to hear something in these things right here. Would you like me to turn it on?
Well, I don't have 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to have to move on, but I was thinking maybe next time you have it already ready.
Sir. Yes, sir.
There are some YouTubers who do some kind of spirit boxes, and they talk to deceased celebrities. Are you using the same thing that these other YouTubers are doing?
I will have to see what they're using, but I believe a lot of it is manufactured, and not everyone's legit. You got to look. I can tell who's legit based on what they're using. Some people, can tinker with stuff. I don't think you can tinker with these. But there's like these new ones out there you can tinker with. But the vast majority I've seen is legit. but there's probably like a few out there that's, you know, manufacturer stuff. So you gotta be careful with that.
All
But
right.
what you believe.
All right.
So I like evidence.
Well, what is your YouTube channel so people can go check out your videos?
Merlin and the Fey King's Crown.
Merlin in the what realm?
Fey King's Crown.
Fey King's realm?
Crown.
Crim?
Like crown.
Oh, crown. Merlin in the Fey King's crown?
Yes, sir.
All right. So there you guys have it. If you want to check out some of his videos, check out Merlin's stuff, and hopefully we'll see you another time, and we can have that spirit box up and running and see if we can talk to some spirits. That would be cool.
That sounds fun. Thank you.
That would be awesome. All right, Nathan. Well, I got to run. Thank you so much for popping in with us.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, and you have a great rest of your weekend.
Much blessings to you too.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Remove. All right, so one of those spirit boxes. You know, people email me because my email address is in the videos, except these live stream ones. And people find me on Facebook and ask me to get different people on as guests, and so it's great because it helps me. You know, helps me bring you guys the guests that you want to see. So anyway, someone recently has been asking me to get one of these kind of spirit box people on, and maybe we'll get him, you know, we'll get his spirit box rolling. I don't know who's next, if it's iPhone, Jennifer, or Zoom user. And I'm just going to start at the top. If I'm out of order, please forgive me. It is nothing personal. And off we go. So, all right, it's a busy night tonight. That's great. I like it busy. And we got, excuse me, over 200 people, so that's good. 232, that means there should be at least 2 of you waiting, and there are 2 of you waiting besides iPhone here. Hopefully she can start it quickly. Or he can start it. If not, I'll have to move iPhone back into the waiting room while we search for the next person. And anyways, I was kind of promoting tomorrow's video is with a man from Hawaii, a native Hawaiian, and we were talking about his NDEs as well as NDEs within the Hawaiian culture. So I'm hoping you guys will really enjoy that one. And I'm going to put you back into the waiting room, iPhone. I did not kick you out. I just put you back while maybe your system is getting prepared. And I'm going to bring in Jennifer and see if hers will turn on quickly. Ask to unmute. So it looks like she is ready to go. I hope. All right, there she is, Jennifer. She has... Can you hear me? Oh, she can't hear me yet. Jennifer.
Hi.
Hello. Now, Jennifer was one of my guests before. She's a Canadian, a Philippine Canadian. Does that sound right? A Philippine Canadian? She's from the Philippines, but she lives in Canada. And she had an NDE. And Jennifer, I recently did a video about fairies, which in the Philippines they may call elementals. Do you know about elementals?
Yes.
So she's from the Philippines. In the Philippines, they call them elementals. Can you tell us what you know about elementals?
We call them elementals. Those are the I don't know how to really call them, but they look like fairies. Fairies of different kinds, and it includes genomes and with different kinds of genomes too, and then looks like elementals that lives in forest, and then they are in spirits though. They are formed like a spirit, but they are very how to say this, they are harmful. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And then
So good ones and bad spirits. You've got to be
Yeah,
careful with you when you're around them.
yeah. They don't really look like humans, with with the human features. They look like very different, and sometimes they have twisted body, sometimes they have twisted eyes, or they don't look normal, they look scary. Some of them are looking good. It
Mhm.
depends.
Okay, well, it's good to have a nice confirmation because I just posted a video, I think it was on Tuesday, from a fairy expert, and this woman has written about 50 books about
Yeah, I
fairies.
watched that.
Yeah, so it was nice to have it. So Jennifer had an NDE. We talked about it. What's going on with you? I haven't seen you in you came back about a month ago, so what's new?
I was just doing my thing, doing my live selling
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want me to share something, or
Yeah, of course we want you to share something with us.
okay? Because I have lots. I'll just pick maybe one or two if I have time. Um, I will start with I had a out of body experience experiment. I should
Experiment.
say.
Hmm.
Yeah, that happened summer season of 2021. I just couldn't pick the month I did that, but I did it. I remember when I was little, I can do out of body experience without any problem. I can just do it, lay down, and just boom, I'm gone. I'm looking down like that. And then when I was growing up, I forget totally how to do it, and I don't know how to do it anymore. So in my age, late 30s, I'm 40. Last year I was 40. And then so I tried to do it. I was in our living room. I was laying down in our sofa, and then I said, I really want to do out of body experience experiment today. So it was only me and my 6 years old daughter in the living room. And then so I lay down, and then I said, I put my focus on going out of body. So I did it, and then I tried for 30 to 45 minutes before I did it. So when I was already half asleep, because you should be half asleep, half awake, so you can do it, right? And then so I was already there. I knew that I was going out of my body because I can feel some sensations that are very prominent when you're doing out of body. So I had those sensations. I was kind of dizzy because my consciousness was kind of like going out back and forth, like, so it's one of the signs that you are about to go out of your body.
Mm.
So I did it, and then what I did was my soul was just roaming around our living room only. And then when I knew that I was already out of my body, I said to myself, I have to do something that will prove to myself that I did it. I did go out from my body. So I said, I am going to knock our front door 3 times.
Mm.
So upon saying that to myself, I went out in our house just right outside of our door, and then I knocked our door 3 times as hard as I can. And then so I heard my body was sleeping, my physical body was laying down on the sofa, and then my soul was outside our front door knocking. And then I heard the knocking sound that I did when I'm out of body. And then when I was hearing that sound, my daughter was waking me up, and then she was saying, Mommy, Mommy, someone is knocking the door. Someone is here. So I couldn't right away wake up because I have to, I don't know, those people that can do out of body, they would understand what I'm saying. You cannot right away automatically just wake up, like wake up right away, and then you would know everything. You were kind of like in between waking up and sleeping, and you have hard time trying to determine whether you are awake already physically or not yet. In a few seconds only, it happens in a few seconds only. And so after few seconds, I was fully awake, opened my eyes, and then my daughter came to me and said, "Mommy, didn't hear you? Didn't you hear that someone is knocking on the door?" And so I said, "Look, who's in there?" And then she went into our window, and then she was looking. "Nobody's there, Mommy. Who was knocking the door?" And then I smiled, and then I said to myself, but I did not tell it to my daughters because I don't want to scare her. I said, "Oh yes, I did it. I did
That's
it. That was
awesome.
me." Yeah, and then and that was it.
So,
My body.
so what you need to do is be like, when you're getting ready for bed, when you're starting to fall asleep, that's the best time to try to pop out of your body.
Could be, yeah. That could be one for if you really want to do it. But what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to do it, it has to be your intention. Intention is always the best triggering triggering device. I should say. I don't know how to say it, but
Right.
yeah.
So when you start to leave, what should we look for? What should we notice if we are trying to do that? What do we feel, or what do we see, or how do we know that, okay, think I'm coming out of my body now?
There are many sensations that you will going to experience. It depends every person what the sensations would be. Sometimes one of those are sense of falling, like you are falling, like you're literally falling, even though you're laying down. That sensation. And then the second one is the sensation of you are feeling above. If this is our physical body, you are feeling above your body, like there's the sensation right here, like you would feel it, like your physical body is just still, you're still, but your feelings is way above, like 2 centimeters or 1 inch or something like that, that you would feel there's a sensation right there, like a little bit of electricity. And also what else? Like you were in a boat. Okay. You know that dizziness?
When do you start seeing things?
When do you start seeing things?
Like seeing your environment around you.
When you are already outside of your body. Yeah, you would see it like you are awake, like what we are doing right now, just like that. So you would see everything.
Would you say first you start kind of having these different sensations, and then all of a sudden maybe your vision turns on, and then you just start seeing everything around you?
Yes, just like that. All of a sudden you will just see everything around you. You can go, you can penetrate the walls, like I don't know how I'm trying to explain this, but if this is the wall, you can just penetrate the wall and you will be in the other side of the wall, something like that. If you want to go, it depends to you how smooth is your cord. They say cord. I don't know, maybe it's an energy, how flexible your energy is, how smooth or how flexible your energy, how much energy you have that you can control if you want to go a little bit farther, or if you want to go to the market or wherever, basketball court, or it depends on your energy flexibility. Okay. Mine wasn't that flexible enough.
That's cool. I think it's great. All right. Well, Jennifer, I need to move on. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us tonight. It was nice catching up with you again. I wish I could remember our podcast number together, but I did have a podcast with Jennifer, and we had an NDE. So maybe someone can tell us in the chat what it is, and maybe you guys can check it out. And maybe you can come back again and share with us.
Oh yeah, I have lots to share.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, stay warm up there and have a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. That was Jennifer. And she was getting out of her body and she could knock on the door. I think that's pretty cool. All right. Let's let iPhone, excuse me, we'll have iPhone try again and see if iPhone will work. And if not, then we'll go to Zoom user. And I saw on the chat earlier, I believe it was Steve who gave me a super thanks. Steve I or Steve L. I can't tell, but thank you very much, Steve. I really appreciate that. And we'll get to, and I think it was Jennifer Hagman. Hagman, maybe Hageman. Jenefer. You probably have to like open it. It's hard. It doesn't, the search, when we search from our end, it's harder that way. It's like you have to open up a second YouTube and just put JeffMara Jennifer. All right. I think we tried iPhone before and it wasn't working. I'm putting you just back into the waiting room. iPhone. I didn't kick you out. Let's try Zoom user and see if Zoom user will work. And Steve, it's an I. All right, thanks, Steve with an I. And we have 255 people, so I always go by 1%. So we should have 2.5 people as guests. And we have 2 here. So, but we always have lots of room for more. All right, so let's see. What are some of the, while we're waiting to see if Zoom user can get in, let me look at the calendar and see what's coming up. I believe I have another NDE that I'll be recording tomorrow morning, and that should come out on Tuesday. On the 10th, I have Lily Nova. I was just searching for some, last week actually, I was searching for any type of UFO news that I could talk about. And in the news was this woman here, Lily Nova, talking about how she saw blue aliens, I believe. And they're here trying out being on the earth or something. So that will be an interesting podcast to see what she knows about blue aliens. And it's 8:01. I wonder if Steven's, oh, Zoom user is here.
I hope this is working.
Hello, it's working.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome.
Great. Who are you and where are you from?
My name is Jessica. Should I say my last name?
It's up to you. You can.
So, well, you can find me on Facebook, Jess Cook.
Jess Cook. All right. Where are you from?
I'm from California, Northern California.
All right.
How do I start this off?
Well, we're just getting to know each other. But what you can do is just tell us what you'd like to talk about. Did you see a UFO? Did you have an NDE, OBE,
Perfect.
ghosts, spirits?
Yeah, perfect. So, well, actually, I would like to start off by saying the community that that you've built, it's so meaningful to me.
Okay.
A lot of times I feel like I'm cuckoo, right? Mm-hmm. But when I come on here and I hear so many people having so many similar experiences to what I've had, mm-hmm. I know I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So one of the main things that I really wanted to talk about is an experience I had, which would be considered an STE, mm-hmm. a spiritually transformed experience. In 2019, I was 21 years old and I ended up in rehab for an opiate addiction.
Okay.
And I ended up in a really nice rehab. I'm not going to get too into it, but I had to sign several non-disclosure forms.
Sure.
I I was really fortunate to end up where I ended up, and I got saved. And I got saved in the name of Christ, not knowing if I really believed or not. I just wanted to find some kind of higher power, right? Well, when I got back to Northern California, when I got out of rehab in Southern California, I came back to Northern California. And I started relapsing again. I got in a relationship with this guy who had just gotten out of prison. And I ended up pregnant. And I already have a daughter, and she's 5 now. She was 3 when I ended up pregnant with my second pregnancy. I'm going to be very cautious with the words I use because I know YouTube has sensitivities.
Thank you.
With this pregnancy, it was really hard for me to decide if I wanted to keep it. And I did, but the situation I was in, and the situation that the guy was in, we just weren't ready. So I ended up going to the clinic, and I went in for some termination pills. And the whole time on my way there, I just kept hoping this guy would call me and change my mind and tell me not to do it. And so I took him, I get in the car, I go back home. As I pull into the driveway, he calls me 40 minutes too late. And I was very upset. We had exchanged some text messages. And when I was in rehab, you go over the 12 steps, and everyone kept saying how important prayer is. Well, I had never prayed, genuinely prayed. And so I, word for word, was sitting in my car crying and very upset. It was very emotional for me. And I said, okay, F it. If there is anything, and I screamed at the top of my lungs, I said, if there is anything, please don't let this work. Please don't let this termination work. And I said, I will never believe in anything again if this can't work. Well, months later, and mind you, I had to refrain from any sexual contact ever since this situation. Months later, he gets locked back up on his way to another federal prison hold. I'm putting my daughter to bed. I feel a baby kick in my tummy. My second daughter survived a first trimester abortion. First trimester termination. And she was a 2.8%er. So it's very rare what happened to me. And I just can't help but shake the fact that that couldn't be coincidental.
Yeah.
I would love to sit here and tell you guys that she's here, but if I said that, that would be a lie. It was a very hard decision to make. She was 19 weeks when I found out. I didn't want to go against medical advice. I didn't want to, if she had cognitive defects, I didn't want to bring her into a vessel that I had messed up because of my mistake, right? Now, when I ended the prayer, I remember debating, should I end this in the name of Jesus Christ? And I did. And looking back on it, it was such a pathetic ending, right? But faith as small as a mustard seed, it was. And I ended it, in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. And I feel like that was a wake-up call for me. I sought it out, I sought Christ out, and I tested his energy, you know, I tested his spirit, and the encounters I've had afterwards are crazy. I currently see triple digit numbers. After the last surgery, 19 weeks, which means you in California, they do not give medical emergency terminations past 21 weeks. But I was 19 weeks and 4 days. So I was able to do that last procedure. And after this last procedure, about 2 weeks later, I kept waking up at 2:22 a.m. and I didn't think much of it. Mm-hmm. Well, I kept thinking about the guy in prison, and we were still on and off and still communicated. And when he got transferred to prison, I go to check his page to see what his new number is. And his new number changed to BL2220. And I knew it was a sign, right? And, you know, I've gone into scripture. I've looked at all the 222 verses. All of them speak to me. There's not one that doesn't. And it's not only 222 that I see now. It's like every time I have a certain thought or I'm doing something important, I'll look over and I'll just see the numbers, right? And it's like a little wink. It's like a wink to me, like, hey, I'm right here with you. And I've had some unbelievable encounters to where I'm like, wow, am I schizophrenic? Like, what's going on? You know, not that anything, you know, nothing against people who are, but I've really, it's really caused some debates in my mind. So to be able to be plugged into this community and hear everybody else's encounters, it's just so validating that this is not a happy event, you know. I think people are on the side of science or the side of spirit a lot, but how I look at it is there's a spirit in the science, right? So it's just so validating to me to be a part of this community. Mm-hmm. I hope, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, are you a member of Discord?
I just tapped into your Discord. I believe I was messaging your wife.
You might. mean the chat. It might have been the chat is what you're thinking of, but the Discord is a separate group on Discord.com. Have you gone to that?
So I have the app. So on Facebook, I think it was your wife. I'm not sure, but she sent me a link to it. Oh, so I just plugged into that.
Okay, maybe she did. Yeah, because she's manning the chat right now. I didn't know what.
Okay.
I'm not watching her, so I don't know what she's up to, but maybe she sent you that. But yeah, so that's great. I was going to say, I mean, I am very lucky to have an amazing audience, and my audience is such a great community. And some of them have like to hang out on Discord, where you can actually chat with each other there and post pictures and memes, and I think you can even video chat, and I know you can voice chat on Discord as well. So
awesome.
I have it created. There's like over 200 people there.
Yeah, that's so great. Yeah, I love the community. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. One thing I didn't mention about this experience is you know, I actually got to spend about 50 minutes with my second daughter via ultrasound. Cool. I got to have pictures of her. I got to see 4D, count each finger, each toe. And it was just such a hard decision to make. To be able to talk about it and not cry 3 years later, it's how I know I've healed a lot, right? Yeah. And yeah, it's just, you know, I think the moral of my story, because I know that was supposed to happen to me. I was on such a bad path, so bad. And I think the moral of my story was that God, source, whatever you want to call it, it's there. It's real. I think that I needed to be truly broken to be able to be built back up, right? And renewed. And if that didn't happen to me, I would still be on opiates and I'd probably be dead.
Right. Well, it sounds like you've healed from this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've done so much work. I've done so much work on myself, and I really just dissected everything. And I had so many questions. Why did this happen? Could this have been a coincidence? A 2.8%? Come on, what are the odds? Right. I made that prayer, framed it so hard, and I really tested it, and it was really unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. Even the ultrasound tech, he'd never seen anything like it. There was a OBGYN who was there for 23 years and said I was the second patient she'd ever seen that had a failed termination. And I just couldn't shake it. I said, this can't be a coincidence.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you watch a lot of the videos, you'll see that people say it's kind of common that there are no coincidences.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sorry.
So I really hope that my
just
testimony.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm so sorry. I have to run to the next people. I got 3 people in line, but I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you coming and sharing with us. I'm thankful for that, and come back and share with us again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Have an amazing weekend.
Thank you. You too. Nice meeting you. Bye-bye. All right. I got to keep the show on the road. It's after 8 o'clock, and we're staying busy tonight. And we got our good buddy Stephen Cake up next. We can check in and see what's going on with Stephen this week. He is our most dedicated, our most loyal contributor here. And I hope his internet is working good tonight. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's not. Last week it was really good. There he is.
Hello, everybody. It's a one night only rhythm and blues show with the Blues Brothers. It's dark outside. We got 280 people in the chat room. Penguins out back, and we got our sunglasses on.
Are you Jake or Elwood?
Elwood Blues. We're on a mission from God.
That's a new one. That's a new one. So how have you been, Stephen?
Well, like I said, every day is very difficult for me.
Every day is a new day. So no juggling.
I guess the harder your life is, the more opportunity there is for spiritual growth. So you could say if you lived in a paradise, you wouldn't have any resistance to try to grow as a person.
And I would say that Stephen does have a YouTube channel. I've checked it out, and there was some nice guitar music he was playing the other day. I don't know if that was yesterday or the day before.
A little mini guitar.
He was back there jamming. So if you get a chance, is it just under your name, Stephen Cake?
Yeah. I'll post it under the video after this.
All right, so you can check it out. So you've seen, I think you watch all my videos. What was your favorite one this week?
You had was it that Trapper
Jack? Trapper Jack.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he was a great guest. He has a podcast as well, and he has lots of stories. And the interesting thing is, and this is kind of a good way to lead this in, is kind of like, a lot of times I'm not even sure what I'm going to talk about with the guests. With Trapper, I wasn't really sure where we were going to talk. And when I start recording them, these podcasts end up wherever they go. They just kind of unfold themselves as we go. And that podcast.
Well, I got a degree from Harvard and Yale. I wrote my thesis on snobbery. So.
Well, that one
people
turned out.
they mispronounce.
They mispronounce
They
what?
say Ghislaine. It's there's a famous person that's like on trial, and everyone mispronounces. I thought I'd clear it up for everyone. It's pronounced Ghislaine Maxwell. It's a French name, and that's how you pronounce it. Ghislaine Maxwell. So I thought I'd clear that up for everyone.
Thank you. Well, that one, I didn't know that podcast was going to be so much about miracles within Catholicism.
I knew a spiritual lady that she's a very spiritual Christian lady, and she had something very similar where she told me her car went through something too. I don't remember the details, but I used to talk with her. I'd visit my grandma at St. Anne's. It's an old person home, and then she was one of the workers. I'd end up talking to her.
Oh yeah, when he was talking about that, the cars just went through each other. And I think there was another guest that had something like that. I just couldn't remember. But I did talk to that with Dr. Gellenberger from Bob Monroe about that, going out of phase. So that's nice to get some more confirmation.
I mean, I have spiritual things happening all the time, and I mentioned I have a spirit friend with me, and she gets me to dance, and I was like, do people want to see me dancing though? Like, because I did a few videos where I'm dancing. Like, I don't know, do people want to see that or not? So maybe a short clip or something.
Yeah, I
do have one up there.
Okay, I think that we'd like to see that.
I had a dream that was kind of out of the ordinary. A giant rocket hit the water, and it created a blast wave. And then I remember seeing that sometimes you can fold a bill a certain way and it shows something prophetic, like they showed the 9/11 Twin Towers on the $20 bill. Right. There's one where it looks like a rocket's going to the water, and I was like, I wonder if that has something to do with it. And then they want to escalate a war over with Russia or whoever.
Wow. What do you I was just gonna ask something to you. Darn it, I forgot it. You distracted me about money and folding it into prophetic things. I'm just kidding around, but
yeah, I wrote a few notes down.
A few notes down.
Yeah, like so the problem with the Discord is that all it takes is a few bad apples to kind of, because people go there looking for open-minded people, and if their first reaction is from someone who is negative, they're just going to leave. And
right.
It's like, that's how I kind of feel.
And I'm glad you brought that up to me. I just had to basically ban somebody. I got 3 complaints from 3 different people complaining about somebody in Discord, and I kind of looked into it and I finally banned the person. So I can't be in Discord. I'm not there actually. I'm almost hardly ever there. It's that Discord is for you guys,
yeah. So
for everybody, whoever's there,
looking for judgment, because we get judgment.
Right, and I want to say if you
get
find
judged
trolls
all the time
there
in the world, so.
Yeah, if you guys find trolls there that are harassing the Discord, please point them out to me. And I've been thinking about making somebody a moderator of that, because again, I'm so busy with just running the channel that I can't really put time into Discord, but I want it to be moderated and feel like, that you guys aren't being harassed or trolled there. I don't know if you know who I'm speaking of, but I want to let people know that
I'm letting my friend move my head.
Is she saying yes or no?
She's here. She's always here. She's always off to my left, and then every time there's music or something playing, she tries to get me to dance.
Do you ever dream of her or speak to her in your dreams?
Someone mentioned in the chat room that you can get out of body during sleep paralysis, and one time I had an incident, and she was saying like to come out, but I couldn't detach my head for some reason. Like I got my body out, but I couldn't get my head out. So I don't know how that works, but
wow, that would be amazing if you could say, all right, Monique, tonight when I'm laying down to sleep, before I fall asleep, I want to try to get out and help me out.
I'd just be happy to remember my dreams because they're pretty vivid. Like I mentioned that, like I've never experienced that before, feeling a shockwave in my dream. Because normally it's like you don't feel too much.
You normally don't remember your dreams?
I have vivid dreams.
But do you remember?
Very vivid to me.
Do you normally remember?
And I don't
them?
remember them all.
Are you having difficulty? Like you want to remember them and you're unable to?
Well, it's like dreaming is so much better than waking life. It's like I don't want to wake up.
Wow. Let me see. Stephen, can you speak to from Suzanne? She asked you, can you speak to Monique telepathically?
No, but it's like I'm an intuitive person. So if I really want to know someone, I'll see what my body's telling me. So I mentioned this last week, is that I wanted to know if she let her family know that she's okay. And so I just use my intuition on that. And I get the feeling that they know that she's okay.
Okay.
So I use, it's like the yin and the yang, and it's like your intellect and then your intuition. And then if you put them together, then you got it. I say the glue is wisdom. So it's intellect, intuition, and then wisdom is bringing them together.
What I found interesting was last week when we had, I think it was Joe with us, Joe concluded that she has crossed over, but she's just kind of comes back and forth and hangs out with you. Because
I'm constantly surrounding myself with the white, they say do that, test the spirits, and then cast out any negatives. So she's in the light.
Because I was always I always felt like she hadn't crossed over.
No, she's crossed over. They can, so like when we look at a picture, we're connecting psychically to someone. So if you put the picture of someone up as your desktop and you're always looking at them, like you're creating some kind of connection there.
Joyce wants to know, what does Monique look like? Steve has posted her in the Discord before. I wonder if you can post her again.
When we're in our spirit form, we're better looking too. Because I've looked at myself in the spirit world and I'm like you're just better looking. I don't know how to describe it, but I got one glimpse of her and it reminded me of like Princess Leia, when she says, your only hope, and she's kind of leaning over. It's kind of like that, but like more like dressed like a shaman.
All right.
That's what I kind of got. Both of my grandmas saw her before they died. Cause like when you start getting older, you can start seeing spirits, and they both said, who's that cute girl with you? They'd say that.
I was gonna say now you've got to start imitating Han Solo if she's Princess Leia.
Hey kid, I don't do that stuff. I like how they always ask for something I can't do. I can do like 30 or 40 impressions. I can't do Han Solo.
Someone's asking you, do you see spirits in items and pictures?
I don't see any spirits. I just have certain, they said the number thing, it's more stuff like that than seeing any. I'm not a psychic or anything like that. But
He's
I am
just
intuitive,
a dude.
So. We got the best show here, folks, don't we, folks? We got the best guide. We got the best show host. Wow, the Tonight Show with Johnny Garza. Well, we're having a spoon bender on. You cannot do it right now. I'm too nervous. Cannot bend the spoon. We'd like to see something bent tonight, preferably a metal object, but we'll take a plastic spoon. Why not?
Well, listen, brother, I've got 3 people in the waiting room. Excuse me. I need to move on. But thank you so much for...
You got to do what you got to do.
Thanks for checking in with us, John.
Both Paul and John, they got along pretty well, except for when they didn't. And then that's when they broke up.
That's what happens. They moved on.
That's all right. We can work it out, except for when we can't work it out. That's when we break it up.
Yeah.
All right,
All
thanks
right,
for
brother.
having me on, and I appreciate all the positivity and the prayers and all this. I appreciate that. So, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, brother. You take care. Cheers. All right, so I'm gonna try iPhone back in again before I move on. We'll see if we can get iPhone working, and hopefully iPhone will work this time. If not, then we will move along. But we've got 3 people and we've got 30 minutes left, so this is kind of like a last call. If you want to get in, you've got 30 minutes. And actually, if I do 10 minutes a person, that's 30 minutes right there. But I stay overtime when people show up, you know, until there's nobody left or it's 9 o'clock, then I stop. And it looks like iPhone is still not ready yet. So I'm not kicking you out. I'm putting you back in the waiting room, and let's go to Jason's Galaxy A51 and see if we can get Jason in. I just exited and jumped back in. And on Android, what happened? All right. Asked to start video. And I was telling you, and anybody that you would know is up and coming. I don't know if I have anybody else, quote unquote, famous yet, or famous in the NDE world. As you guys, well, I guess I'll tell you that later. All right, Jason, can you? Nope, doesn't look like it's up yet. His audio. We're just waiting for Jason's audio. So while we were waiting, what was I going to say? Darn. It'll come back to me once I'm talking to Jason. All right, so we've got other people showing up. Uh-oh. He was there. Now he's gone, completely gone. All right. We'll try Danielle. See if Danielle can get in. Ask to start video. Hopefully she will make it. And again, I'm glad that he brought that up about Discord, that if anybody has problems with people or you're having problems in Discord, please notify me. So far, there hasn't been any problem since I created this new one, except till recently I was getting contacted by somebody. Other than that, there's Danielle. Well, hopefully she can get her audio working because her video is working. We just got to get your audio started. She probably can't hear me.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you
Hold on.
zooming? Where are you zooming from?
I am zooming from Southern California.
All right. Well, have you been here before?
I don't think so.
On our Saturday nights? Okay. What part of Southern California?
In Long Beach.
Long Beach. Okay. No, you seemed you look familiar. And then when I heard Southern California, it even made it closer. But the person I was thinking of, I think, was closer to San Diego, which is still pretty close to you.
Far. Yes, it is.
It's just down the beach, 60 miles, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So what is going on with you? What do you have to share with us this evening?
You know, I'm wasn't quite sure how to start this. I'm a midwife of sorts to the nature spirit kingdom. So so when I walk in the woods, I pick them up. I can feel them. They come home with me. I sculpt them, give them form. And they're actually the dolls that I do are imbued with the spirit and the energy of that spirit that comes to me.
Right. Yeah, we spoke offline, right?
Right, we did.
Okay, interesting. So you pick up spirits in the forest, kind of like fairies or something, or just kind of spirits there?
Fairies, gnomes, wizards, elves, wizards, interestingly enough. And actually, I don't necessarily have to go out and be in the woods. They do have come to me in my home. So it's fascinating. It's been a fascinating journey. I started this like 30 years ago, 30 plus years ago, with Father Christmas doll, and it's evolved into this. It's just turned into this massive nature spirit just thing. It's pretty crazy, and I'm loving it because it's their message is they want us to start working together with them again, and to get out into nature and to start becoming more and more in touch with who we are, because in order to do that, we have to go into nature because we are nature. And we just to kind of step out of the technology and to get away from all the electronics and all of that kind of thing in order to get in touch with who we are. We need to be out in nature.
I agree. So how do these spirits, how do they communicate with you? Is it telepathically or what?
It's an energetic thing. It's like I'm clairsentient. I don't necessarily hear them. I feel them. So it's difficult for me sometimes to put things into words, but it's like say I had a wizard come to me some years ago, and I was walking through the woods, and I walked through this particular spot in the woods, and I kept getting pulled back like a magnet to this spot. And it happened several days in a row. And I finally thought, all right, well, I'm going to go home and, I'll start working on this doll. Well, I got him done. I dressed him in blue, put his beard on him and his hat on him, and sat back and looked at him and said, oh my God, you look like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. And, which is fascinating because I'm a huge fan of Tolkien and have been since I was a little kid. That energy is starting to come back in. And in fact, it hit me the other day, the Dunedain from the Lord of the Rings. That energy came in. So that's brand new. That just came in a few days ago. I'm spinning with that energy because Tolkien's connected to that, and I'm excited about it, and I'm just wheels are turning, and I've got all this stuff going on in regard to that. I've got this whole scene I'm going to create. So,
are you also a painter?
I do a little bit of painting, but I don't do a lot. I do. I'll take my dolls out into the woods, and I'll set them up, and then I'll take photographs of them and put them to canvas. So
the reason I ask is it looks like there's a painting to your right, and I was just wondering if you painted that.
I did not. It's actually a picture that I did. I don't know if that's coming through. It started as the gathering of the circle of light. See, yeah, that's better.
I understand.
And then yeah.
Well, can you show us some of your dolls that you make? And so you help us. Are you putting the spirits into the doll, or do you just create the doll based on the spirit that you encounter?
I create the doll, and I can feel when the doll is finished, that energy comes in, and then it will transfer to me what it wants, the gift that it has for me. It's like I'll finish the doll, and then I can sit back and I know it's done, because then all of a sudden I start getting a download from it, just energetically. I've had dolls work on me for hours and hours at a time. I've had wizards do that. It's fascinating stuff. I would never have believed this or even thought about this when I first started this because it just seemed kind of out there. But I got to tell you, it's real and it's happening, and it just it's fascinating stuff.
Well, how can people go see your dolls? Do you have a website?
I do. It's called Nature Spirit Creations .com. naturespiritcreations.com.
Okay.
I have a Facebook page, Nature Spirit Creations, on Facebook. The Within Realms. It's called kind of the Within Realms. That's what I have so far.
Okay. I only have a couple minutes with you left because I got to move on to the next person, but thought maybe you could show us one. Wow, that looks really amazing.
He's a Father Christmas doll. This is what I originally started to do because I saw one in a catalog and I thought, oh my God, I just love him, right? And didn't know that, at that point, this was back in the late 80s, if I could have, it was $500 for the doll. So I thought, well, I'm just starting out doing this kind of work. I didn't even know that I could sculpt until I started doing this work. And this is what I started doing. So it's him. And then there's, let's see what I've got here. This guy came to me when I was living up in Idaho. He's extremely powerful. Had I not been sitting on a chair, I would have been on my knees. The energy was so powerful and so noble and so, I just say, it's hard to put words to some of this stuff. Let's see, I can't, it's hard for me to gauge how to show him to you.
Looks like a wizard.
Yeah, but he's an elf, and it's like he ended up the Lord of all the elven ones up there in the North Idaho. I lived up near Sandpoint. The energy up there is more rarefied. It's not as populated, and these guys are. There's a lot more of them to be had up there. So, and that the land up there is calling me back. So.
Well, those are very nice. You are a talented woman. I mean, those are very well made.
Oh, thank you. And this guy's little. He's a little tiny guy.
It's like a little gnome.
He's a little wizard, but he's about, I'd say about 5 inches tall, but he's packed full of energy. He's got the primal forces behind him. So at any rate, I appreciate you giving me the platform to start.
Well, thank you for coming by. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to run, but are you a member of the Discord?
I am not, but you know what? I will become that.
If you would like, you're welcome to join the Discord and post a link to your website so people can check out, they can look into it more. That's, this may have flashed by and they won't remember the name, but if with the link in the Discord, they'll be able to find you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks,
have a good evening.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you again.
Take care.
Okay. You too. Bye.
All right. Let's see if we can get Jason's Galaxy in. And hopefully Jason's Galaxy will be working. Otherwise, we'll have to put Jason's Galaxy back into the waiting room. We have to put, it's interesting to think about taking a Galaxy and putting it into the waiting room. But it looks like it's going to work. Ask to start video. All right, he's back. Now we're almost there. I'm asking you to unmute.
Okay.
Jason, you made it.
Hey, man.
Welcome, Jason.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Where are you zooming from?
I'm zooming from Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
From Arkansas. I just had a guest from there the other day. Maria.
Yeah, I saw him.
That was Wade.
That was amazing. I'm so glad he's here with us still.
Are you also a painter?
Yes, I'm a painter.
I can see that painter. I can see the painting behind you.
Yeah, this is a call for strength.
Interesting.
And it's unfortunate with the timing, but I don't have my other paintings. I've given them all away. And they're really special, and they're very mystical. I pour the paint on the ground and I blow it with my breath, and it's it brings out the most amazing stuff. I have one that is literally the beginning of Genesis, and it's God as he's hovering above the waters. And if any of your viewers or you would like to check it out, it's Deep Pour Art on Instagram, and there's a underscore between Deep Pour and Art.
Deep Born Art? Born, B-O-R-N?
Pour, P-O-U-R.
Oh, Deep Pour, like pouring a glass. Deep Pour Art. But is it Deep underscore Pour Art or Deep dash Pour Art?
Deep underscore Pour underscore Art.
All right, there he is on Instagram. Great, cool. So have you had any type of spiritually transformative experience, or what has happened to you?
I've had, I started acrylic pouring. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at you straight.
That's okay.
I'm not a good talker to people generally.
You're doing wonderful. Don't worry about it.
But I was in a real depressed state in my life, and I started doing these pours, and God saved my life. The pictures are what do it justice. I've had other experiences. I'm sorry, I'm real nervous right now.
It's just you and me.
Well, when later on in this journey, after I had done my pours, I'll just tell you one of my stories. I was on the way to a client, and this had been pre-planned out a month in advance, and I had my radio going. Another thing to mention is I can't see in my mind. I only in brief visions that I get can I see anything. I won't remember your face unless I'm looking at you. So I'm in the car, and I have this vision, and it's a man and a woman, and they're yelling across each other from inside the yin yang, and they look like they're going to just rip each other's throats out. And all of a sudden, I'm above myself, and I'm watching myself on the ground doing one of my paintings. And it's a painting that I was anticipating for the longest time. It was my 11th painting. And I was scared to do it. I've had this feeling like there was a thunder to it, a strength that just gave me a lot of fear. And so I went through with the painting in this vision, and I blow it out, and it's Jesus. And so I have this overwhelming feeling of love, and so I feel like I have to kiss the painting. So I kissed Jesus, and now all of a sudden I'm thrown back into the yin yang, but it's multifaceted, and a bright light comes out of the center of it, and the strongest arms and the most loving presence and strength. I could feel the strength at the same time was just right there. And all the while, the radio was playing My Sweet Lord by George Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the timing of the music and the synchronicity of all this happening was just absolutely perfect. And just at the crest of the song, his arms spread wide and the light was its brightest. And then I kept playing that song on the way over to this client's house. And I was just trying to remember as much of it as I could and hold on to it. And all the while I'm following my GPS, and the GPS stopped me right at this beautiful Celtic cross. And not only was it the cross, but because it was the Celtic, it had the circle behind it and the holes bored out, 4 holes bored out in it that would look like a yin yang as it was revolving. And I've had so many of these experiences ever since I started doing these paintings that it's I can't deny God, but I'm at this point in my life where I want to know if it's Jesus or if it's just source, because I'm not getting the peace that people say you should get if it's Jesus. I feel like it's a burden and a blessing at the same time.
How is it a burden?
Because I can't get my mind off it and live normally. But it's a blessing because the Spirit guides me into these situations where I'm actually helping people and doing really good things that I never am expecting. It just happens.
It sounds
really,
I was going to say, it sounds
go ahead.
It sounds amazing what's happening to you. It's almost like the painting. When you're painting, you enter a meditative state, and during that I think sometimes when we're doing art, whether you're a musician, a painter, a drawer, or whatever you do, when you're in that state of creation, it becomes a meditative state, and it sounds like somehow you're connecting with God even when you're in that meditative state.
Oh, it's exactly like that. And because it's these pores, I don't know what they are until they're finished. I'll pour them out, I'll blow it with my breath, and I just have a knowing of when to stop. And then I stand back away from it and I go, whoa, that's unreal.
Do you ever ask for guidance while you're blowing the paintings out? Ask for maybe.
I haven't done a painting in a few months. And I've kind of been afraid to. I feel like I don't know if I'm supposed to test God in that way.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I wasn't thinking of it as testing. I was thinking it more of guidance, but I don't know. I wish I could give you the answers of what's going on for you, but and I can't. But it sounds to me like what I said previously is that while you're in that zone, somehow that meditative zone where maybe somehow you're connecting with God while you're painting.
Yes. And the thing that I'm worried about is some of the time it feels like a darker energy, and those are the ones that I've not shared so much with people. And I just push them away.
Right. Do you know anybody personally in Arkansas that you can consult with?
I just don't know anybody else who's able to do this with paint the same way.
Right. Well, we gave your Instagram out, And that is, again, it was something poor. Because I remember, what was your Instagram again?
Deep underscore
Deep.
poor underscore art.
Okay, deep underscore poor underscore art. Maybe somebody in the chat can message if they have an idea of how you can be helped. Maybe you guys can message him on Instagram and point him in the right direction of someone to consult with him and help you out. I think it's beautiful also that you give those paintings away.
That's another part of it. They were already supposed to go to certain people, and I knew it. There was one that I did that was Soul Valley, and it was 2 parts. And 2 friends that I had made, I knew it was supposed to go to them, and it was just it was confirmed to me that I did the right thing, because just about 2 weeks ago, I was over at one of their houses, and their phone number, the last 4 digits of their phone number is the same, only it's backwards. And they've been friends. Yeah, and it's all these little synchronicities, and there's confirmations with everything. When I did my God is All painting, I had a vision that if I gave it to a friend that I was supposed to, that I would receive a lantern back. And not only did I receive a lantern back, but he gave me 3.
Interesting.
Which makes me think of the Trinity, but
that's a good way of thinking about that.
Yeah, it's I always believe there's a God, and we're supposed to love one another. But I never had any mystical experiences before doing these paintings.
Right.
And it's just a real trip, man.
I'm gonna have to run, but before I go, what I'm feeling is that you should keep painting and see where it goes. But that's just me. I mean, who am I? I mean, that, I'm just a regular person like anybody else, but that's what comes to me is keep painting. Either that and of course, as I said earlier, you may want to consult with somebody else who's more knowledgeable about this. But, excuse me, but yeah.
Well, that's just it. Who's really knowledgeable?
Good. Yeah. Good question. It's a very good point. Yeah. Anyways, Jason, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. I wish you the best, and I hope that you can get answers you get the answers that you're searching for.
Thank you, Jeff, and God bless you, and God bless everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, and God bless you, and have a great evening. Cheers.
You too. Bye.
All right, don't report. Let's get Cricket Ovation. Is it Cricket, or maybe we'll go to Rhonda? I felt like Rhonda was first. If she wasn't, I'm sorry, Cricket. I just kind of felt like Rhonda was next. And I think she's almost here. Will, I think you can bring me my water? My glass is over there if you want to fill it up. Rhonda.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey, Rhonda, how's it going? Uh-oh. That was.
Let me hold on. Let me get this right.
Noisy. I'm saying that was noisy.
I think I'm here.
Oh, you're here. All right. Uh-oh. Do you have YouTube still on? You have to turn off the YouTube volume. I feel like that we're picking up YouTube volume, or some other spirit is hijacking your computer and we're hearing it.
Well, I got the YouTube way down. I can't really hear it.
I think it's with my voice. Yeah, it's after I speak sometimes. Thanks, Will.
1 second, Jeff. 1 second.
1 second. Where are you from again, Rhonda? Are you from
Montana?
Montana. Boy, that is it's weird. Every now and then that sound comes out of nowhere.
Okay, how's our sound now?
I think it's okay. Don't worry about it. What part of Montana are you from? Because we watched that show Yellowstone.
Oh my goodness, I'm way north of there. I'm up by Glacier Park.
Oh, nice.
So no, almost to Canada.
Is it in this time of the year? Is it totally frozen over? Like it's so.
It should be, but you know what? We're having about 50 degrees today, 40 degrees this week.
Wow.
I know it's bizarre because a year ago at this time, I still have a little bit of a trauma from last year of 40 below, my pipes freezing up and all of that stuff. And it seems like the Northeast is getting all the crazy weather.
Yeah. Yeah. I have wondered, is it possible that the North Pole is shifting on the Earth? Like, what is actually north is changing and rotating. I'm assuming it's not, because we all would have heard about it by now, but
they say that. Yeah, I've heard that. And anyways, Jeff, I wanted to say, well, hello to you. Hello to Mara.
Hello.
The mysterious woman, Mara.
Yes.
I almost wanted to put my mask on over there and say, well, here's an idea, Mara, for you to jump online if you're, understandably want to be kind of shy about that these days. And anyways, yeah, I'll try the mask. But I have a good story for you.
All
and
right.
it's a unique.
All right. Just before you tell it, who is on the chair behind you? I thought that was Johnny Depp. I just wanted to confirm that.
My comrade here, Johnny Depp. Yep. Anyways, years ago, I have so many stories over the years, but years ago, I was driving up north cross country. It was about this time of the year here in Montana, and it was like 20 below that time. And I was driving cross country, so like 16 miles on a dirt road by myself, but I was in my Wagoneer, so I was okay about it. But I saw in the distance the Northern Lights. They were green and dancing, and they were in the direction that I was driving. So I just kept driving, and I drove right into them to where they were all the way around me.
Cool.
And I had, even though it was like 20 below zero and I'm out in the middle of nowhere by myself, I stopped the car, opened the window, and just laid my head out the window. And it was like they were all dancing all the way around me. And I'd like to hear if anybody else has a great Northern Lights story like that. Because to me, these things happen and I just figure they're divine. Like I would never expect something like that to happen again. And yeah, it's nice to have a forum to be able to share. The show is great. I'll say the one of all the stories I love, but Richard Allen the other day, he was great. And I'd like to do a shout out to Stephen. And I have to tell you, Jeff and Mara, no one ever lets me sing.
All right. Well.
And I got a joke all my life. I want to be a blues singer.
Well, the only thing is, I'm happy to have you sing, but you have to sing your own music because I don't want to get copyright problems of you singing somebody else's music. And we don't have the rights to that music. But if you can sing your own song, I say ready, go.
Yeah. Well, I think happy birthday, you're always good about that because I don't think there's any copyright rules with that. But okay. Well, I was going to just a shout out to Stephen. Someone left the cake out in the rain. anyways, I don't know what else to say. I got a couple other really good, fascinating stories, but I'll wait for another 10 minutes or what to jump on.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you, Rhonda. And
thanks for having me.
Take care.
You too. See ya.
See ya. All right, let's go to Cricket. Ovation number 2. And then we've got Tanya. And that was a shout out to Stephen Cake. I wonder if Stephen heard that shout out. And while I'm waiting, I'm glad I just saw that. There's a couple people who gave some super thanks, and I want to say thank you for that. I appreciate your donations. Let me see if I can scroll through and see those. One was from Steve I again. Thank you so much, Steve. And I'm searching. Another one's from Tristan Early. Thank you so much, Tristan. And I think that's as far as it'll let me go back. Okay, so Cricket is here, but her audio excuse me, isn't up and running yet. And it will be probably soon. And I thought there was one more super thank that I missed, but I don't know why it won't let me go back that far. All right, so how can I tell Cricket to put on? I can't seem to help her put her sound on. A lot of times this happens though. It's like really slow for the person to get their audio on. Here it comes. All right, we're almost here. It's okay, now it's muted. I'll ask to unmute.
Hello?
Hello. All right. I knew it was just going to take a little bit of time for you to get for your audio to get connected. Who are you and where are you zooming from?
Tina Thomas in Tyler, Texas.
Oh, and Tina Thomas. All right, in Tyler. Yeah. You've been on before, haven't you?
Yep.
Yep, I remember. You moved to Tyler from somewhere in the Northwest, right?
Utah.
Utah. Yes. See? Yeah. Yes. What's going on with you today, Tina?
Not a lot. Just tired. Volunteered at the animal shelter today. So everybody go out and adopt. It's cold. We need homes.
Dogs need homes. That's true. That's so nice. Have you had any new spiritual experiences since we've seen you last?
Okay. So yes, I have been doing the sacred acoustics.
Oh, cool.
Binary beat music, yeah.
Wow. Did you buy, are you doing the free one or did you get, they also gave away like 4 free ones too if you asked them or something. Which ones are you doing?
I just did the one free one, but I didn't know they would do more, so.
Okay.
I will check that out because yeah, it was interesting. One night I just woke up in pure joy laughing.
Really?
And I cannot remember like why. But then the second time I was definitely in another realm and I was having a color bath. So it was like, yeah, it was like an ocean of color and the sky was reflecting the same color and the sun was full of color. It was like everything was infused with color. And the only thing I knew was that I was having a color bath, whatever that means. But so those are my results.
That's amazing. Do I didn't know this until I was talking to Dr. Alexander about this, but when you hear the om sound, that om, you're supposed to om along with it.
Oh, yes.
Are you doing that?
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
I didn't know that until he told me. I hadn't been doing that.
Yeah. Well, that you had another guest who was talking about he was doing the meditations with the Monroe Institute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started doing that one too, and you ohm along with that. So basically, like, you breathe in through your nose with your eyes open, and then close your eyes and ohm it out. It's pretty chill. I get out of physical pain after doing that.
That's what the one from Sacred Acoustics?
No, that's the Monroe Institute, the Gateway.
The Gateway. Are you doing that one from YouTube, or which one are you doing?
Yeah, I do it from YouTube.
Okay, yeah, because I know that I think they have like, is that the one they have like maybe 15-minute episode from their Gateway? Is it on their YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I need to try that one. I've done their healing ones. Which one?
Yeah, it's extremely relaxing. I think it's just the first Gateway one.
Which one do you feel like you've gotten more from, the Sacred Acoustics or the Monroe Institute ones?
I don't know. I like them both. But the Sacred Acoustics, I've definitely had more, because I was doing that by itself when I had those experiences. So
how often do you do them?
Every day. I'm doing them every day. Yeah, it's just part of my spiritual practice now.
Do you do it in the morning or the evening, or just whenever you have whenever you find time? At nighttime before you go to sleep?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. That's they talked about that. Karen, I think, mentioned that, and I think it mentions it in their literature, that sometimes you'll just have these random releases of emotions, like this just out of nowhere release of an emotional release, and it sounds like you had something like that, but that was in your sleep.
Yeah, I woke up just laughing. It was so joyful, and I couldn't remember why.
Wow.
But I've never really had that happen before, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's inspiring to hear that. I may have to get back to that and start doing theirs again. They were either running it was either like $20-$25. They were running some special where you get 4 of them, or actually 8 of them, because there's different ones. There's ones, it's like there's a guided one, and then there's the same one again, non-guided, and it was like a whole package of them, and it was like $20-$25. But they said if you don't have money, you just say, hey, I don't have any money, or I don't remember exactly. You have to if you listen to the podcast, they'll say, well, if you can't afford it, just let us know and we'll give it to you for free.
Well, I'll definitely ask them about it, because I'm on disability, so
then
so I don't have. I'm on a limited income.
Well, then it's probably, they didn't put a time limit to it from what I remember. So maybe you can get them, you can do them, and then report back to us.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
I will.
I thought they were really pretty cool. They were, they're different brainwave states. And during the thing, I told them, one of them, I felt like it was just my brain or my head was being massaged. I think that might have been alpha. And then I think on the theta one, it was really weird, because I did it in the morning, and then before I got to work and do my daily work and stuff that I do, I just felt like my head was like unusually clear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm experiencing too. And then it kind of feels like both sides are awake at the same time.
Yeah. So
cool. I'm happy with it.
Well, thanks for checking in with us. I appreciate you. And like I said, I hope to hear back from you if you get those other ones.
Yeah. And I want to talk to you about this friend of mine. I want him to be on your show.
Who is that? And what's his experience?
His name's Rob. Okay. So Rob, he bought one of the original NASA technology QXCI biofeedback machines.
Okay.
And the FDA had everybody rounded up and had them all turned back in, and only 4 people have not turned in those original machines.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he's got one of these original machines. And so these oh gosh, these super soldiers are talking about med bed and advanced technology. That's what this is. This is quantum physics, 3D printer technology. If you go on YouTube, they're growing soft tissue, they're growing ears and body parts with these machines.
Wow.
So,
wow, yeah. Tell him to contact me. The only thing is, if he contacts me, then we all know who he is, and he's, you know, we've already stated now he has the machine. Will he be easily tracked down?
Well, he kind of doesn't care that they've already taken everything from him. He owned his own shop and his own home, and everything was pretty much taken away from him. So he doesn't care. He wants to heal people. And I had been bedridden for a year when I got one of my good friends to come over, and because she's a psychic medium, and I thought she can help me cross over, because I was just languishing. I was like 90 pounds. I couldn't eat. I was chronically dehydrated. And I lived on potty pads, like doggy potty pads. And I had a home health nurse.
Wow.
And she came over and she's like, you got to try that. You got to get a session with him. And I did. And it was so intense that during the session, I was surrounded by this violet flame that licked every square inch of my skin. And it was so blissful and I almost want to say sensual, but it was very intense. And then I found out later that there actually is, like, people talk about a violet flame, but I experienced it with the machine.
Wow.
It was intense, and it was very spiritual. And immediately after that first session, I was able to eat and not throw it up. And I have gotten better ever since then.
That's cool.
So it does work. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you know, have him reach out to me, and we can talk about having him on. I think that will be a really interesting show.
Oh yeah, and he told me, he said, when I did a session on you, I had grays show up, and I'm like,
wow.
What, the little aliens?
Yeah.
And he swears that they were like peeking in his windows, looking at his machine. So it's very real. It's very interesting, and it absolutely works. I don't know how it works, but it does.
That reminds me, I was hoping he was going to show tonight. I had a guest, Ronnie Dawson, he has an astronomy laser, those green lasers that you shoot, you know, it's like a laser pointer, but the green laser are much more powerful than the red one, and it just shoots a laser, which you can follow it with your eyes for miles. And that's how the people in astronomy point out stars. And he started pointing one at a UFO, and they didn't like that. And they came and paid him a visit in his house.
Interesting.
So when you said that, it made me think of Ronnie.
Yeah. Well, this machine, he's done tests on it, and it seems like it works better when it's not hooked up to you, because you can go to where the machine is at and get hooked up. I've never been hooked up, but it has done DNA corrections and things that, you know, I feel like I have been messed with, and I have been abducted. I have memories of that. And I grew up outside of Edwards Air Force Base in California.
Right.
So
yeah, I remember that.
I have some experiences, and I feel like that's why they were showing up there to, you know, to see what they were doing, because he was making DNA corrections. And
wow.
It's definitely changed my body and my mind. I've done a lot of healing.
Cool. All right. Well, I have to run, but thanks for coming back and hanging out with us again. I appreciate you. And again, like I said, if you get those, you know, if you get those other ones, let us know. That would be really cool to follow up with you.
Oh, I'll definitely check in with you and let you know how it goes. So thanks for your work. I love you, Jeff.
Thank you. I love you too.
Mara.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. And we got Tanya here. So, and I think this is going to be, unless someone else shows up, Tanya is my last guest of the evening. Okay. Where is, let me see. Mika was just here with me today.
Am I in?
And Mika has her winter growth. So she looks very unkempt, but she's real fluffy for the winter. And we're going to get her a haircut. I was actually trying to find someone to trim her.
Oh, there you
And she needs a good haircut. She's so fluffy. She's real fluffy. Sorry, Tanya. I was just talking about me.
No, it's okay.
I was waiting for you to
your
come.
dog.
Thank you. All right. So I've seen you around. I've seen you leaving some comments and seen you. Thanks for coming back. What's been going on?
Yeah. I've been looking at your videos and listening to your guests and stuff. But yeah, in November, my father passed away, so I had to go to Panama for that, and then that's why my absent a little bit from the online stuff, but
my condolences.
Watching. Yes,
thank you. My sincere condolences. Yeah. Are you holding up okay?
Yes, actually, if it wasn't for this, like everything that I had learned through your channel and your guests and all the things that I have been doing to learn about, the other side and all of this, I think it would have hit me like really hard because, my dad.
Yeah.
But because of guests, like the guests that you have, the interviews that you do, and the things that I had learned through your channel that helped me so much to deal with that loss,
Yeah. Do you feel like your father has reached out to you and connected with you? How, if you don't mind, can you share that, how he did that?
Yes. So normally I have, I record orbs, right, with my phone. And I kind of like started distinguishing them between like, okay, that's a normal orb and this big one in magenta color, this could be my guardian angel, right? And then all of a sudden, after my father passed away, I had this really bright red orb show up in the recording, and only one night.
And you've never seen that one before?
And I never seen it before or after. And so what came to my mind immediately when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, that's my dad.
Oh, cool.
And so I mean, I got the feeling, right? Because I didn't hear anything or nothing like for sure told me or whatever, but my feeling is that it was him.
What about, have you been seeing feathers or money or butterflies or anything like that?
No, I haven't. But I did came on tonight because your previous guest with the painter, and I think what he got was like the Holy Spirit, because I had kind of like a similar situation after my father passed away. So because my father passed away, I had candles, I had the Virgin of Guadalupe image, I have a cross, a Bible, the rosary, like on top of my dresser, which is on front of my bed. And I was lighting up the candles to pray for my dad, right? And then each night I will pray the rosary and all of that stuff. Okay, so then one morning I woke up and I feel that it was a vision because it's different when you have a vision than when it's a dream. So in this vision, my third eye open, right? And I'm looking, I'm the same way, laying on the bed, looking to my dresser on front of me. And then this magnolia tree came out of the wall, like right on top, like from the dresser and the wall. I could see a magnolia tree with flowers and everything, right? So I'm looking at it because I'm like, wow, these tree branches and flowers and things, and they're like right here on my wall. And I'm looking at it and how it was moving slowly, right? Like when the wind, when it's outside in nature and the wind is just moving the tree branches, right? So I'm like enchanted looking at the tree. And all of a sudden, from the window, there is a window on my, well, there's two windows on my left hand side that is directly face the dresser where this magnolia tree was coming from. Branches was hanging in my room. And all of a sudden I see this huge rush of wind, but like a tornado kind of wind, like a hurricane kind of wind, like powerful. And it was so white that it almost looked like a cascade of water, you know, when the water is cascading from how you say, like a fall, like a fall that the water turns white. It was like that. It was like white but powerful wind. But then I'm looking at the wind coming inside from the window, and I'm looking at the tree branches, the magnolia tree branches, and the magnolia tree is not, it's like nothing is affecting it. It's still moving slow, like nothing is happening. Yet the wind that is rushing from the window is so powerful that I even started to get a little scared, because I was like, oh my God, this wind is gonna blow me off my bed. So I just started thinking like, I'm gonna have to crawl down to the floor, because if I stay here on top of the bed, this wind is gonna blow me off. So then, just like that, the vision was gone, right? Everything was gone. And I was like, wow, I don't know what that was or what it meant. So I shared this story, the testimony, with some friends, family friends, and on WhatsApp. And then one of them told me, she said, you know what? That sounds like the Holy Spirit. And if you look at the Bible, Acts 2:1-13, the Pentecost said that suddenly a sound like a blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. And I was like, wow, that have to be. And then it went farther. Then she gave me the Saint Bernadette of Lourdes, like how she received, the story of how she received the vision from the Virgin Mary in a cave near Lourdes. And the story is that before she saw the Virgin Mary, she felt the rush of wind, like a torment. How you say that? What is the word that I'm looking for? Like a storm, right? Rushing through. But then she was looking at like some flowers or something on the ground, and they were not, like nothing was affecting it. But she heard the sound of the air, coming through. So it was like, okay, this is it. That was it. That was the Holy Spirit coming into my room. And yeah, that's the vision that I had. And I had no idea about the story of Saint Bernadette of Lourdes or the reference from the Bible.
Wow.
I didn't have that knowledge until after I shared my vision with her, and then she mentioned the Bible and the saint story. She told me, you need to go read it because this is what happened to her too.
That's amazing. Did you happen to catch my video? I guess I posted it yesterday with Trapper Jack, and we spoke about so many Catholic miracles. I'm assuming you're Catholic. Am I correct?
Yes, I'm Catholic, but I'm one of those that I was just my family, they just they gave me the baptism, and then that was it. I never, like, after that, we didn't go to the church on Sundays. Nobody like teach me anything about the Bible, or like the only time I went to church was because of, like, you know, the special occasions like Christmas Mass or something like that. But I never, I wasn't brought up in a place where we will go to church and learn all of these things.
Yeah.
So I have very little knowledge of it. I mean, now that I'm grown up, and because of all the paranormal stuff that happens to me, and I kind of like got tired, because I was like, I need to find a way of dealing with this stuff. I can't live the rest of my life in fear and all that. That's how I started searching and looking for places like your channel, you know, to like explain to me, like, what is this, all these things that I deal with, you know?
Yeah.
Well, but I love it. I saw that episode.
Okay, yeah. It was very interesting, and I didn't know of any of those miracles until he told me about them.
Yeah.
And probably, I'm guessing, maybe a lot of Catholics don't even know of a lot of those miracles.
Yeah, I didn't know, because my friend is the one that mentioned to me, like, you need to go back and read about her story, like the saint. And I went and I looked it up on the internet, and I started reading it. And when I saw how she described the wind, and I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I saw. The wind rushing in from the window, so powerful that it was white, but I knew it was wind, even though it looked like water. I knew it was a wind rushing in. And then the next thing, I'm looking at the magnolia, 3 branches, and I'm like, it's still moving like nothing. It's like just peacefully just moving, just like normal. But I mean, the wind could have like ripped that apart, right? Because it was so powerful, and I just started to feel it scared. But no, it was just like peaceful.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, Tanya. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us today. And thank you for still watching. I appreciate you.
I'm a fan. I'm always around
Thank you.
watching and,
thank you.
You know,
Cool.
learning.
Thank you. Are you in the Discord?
Yeah, I'm in the Discord. I'm, what is it called? Like, not a fan of snow.
The what?
My name is not Tanya.
Oh, okay.
My name on the thing is like not fan of snow or something like that.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tanya. Well, I'm going to run, but thanks again for showing up, and I hope to see you again.
Yeah, sure. I will. Every time some of your guests give me like some kind of idea to share something with you guys, I always try to call and share my own experiences too, you know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Bye-bye.
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 Sarah wants to know how to like subscribe, get membership.
Oh, Sarah K, thanks for asking if you want to be a member. I think it's in every, it doesn't automatically populate in this video, but if you look like at all my other videos, let me just check for me to make sure as well. If you go to like, gosh, I got to get back into to look at one of my own videos. But I think in the video description, if you go to any regular video description, which I'm almost there, it says join this channel to get access to perks. And underneath that is a link, and you just, if it's not clickable, you copy and paste it into your web browser and it'll take you there, and then you do all that stuff there with YouTube. I don't have any really involvement in that except giving you the link. And so that gives you options and whatever you're willing to do or happy to do. We're so thankful for that. And on that note, I am thankful for you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you guys back next Saturday. And that's it. Thank you, and have a great rest of your